Yo, I just made a speed boost and mid-range finisher. This build kinda like a speed boost on lockdown. Oh shoot. Yo, before we get into the meat and potatoes, make sure you click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to turn on post notifications. I know you want to be a part of Noti Gang. YouTube, what to do, man? It's the homie Last to Lose sliding through it yet. Yes, that's right, another video. Now look, man. I think I stumbled up upon something that's very dope using one of the new pie charts that the game has given us. Now keep in mind, man, there may be some better variations of builds for this pie chart that I'm about to show y'all. But I want y'all to listen to my explanation as I'm going through making the build, so that way y'all can see my logic behind the build, and then that way you'll get a better context of why I'm making this build and why this build, you know, what you'll be able to do with the build and stuff like that. All right, so this build, you will be able to use this on the threes primarily. It seems like 2K is really trying to push the threes on us, opposed to having like the twos court at the top of the park or in the middle of the park is off to the side. All right, so you can run twos with this build. Don't get me wrong, you can run twos with this build. You can play it the same way how you play with any other build, set to hiding behind screens. You'll also be able to ISO with this build as well. All right, so just to get right into the build, you're gonna go with the point guard, and then the handed is your, you know, whatever you prefer. I prefer lefties, and for the sake of the video, I'm gonna go ahead and pick number 12. All right, now mind you, again, this is with the new pie charts that the game has provided us. So there may be other builds that you may like that has a better badge setup or whatever the case may be, but if you just listen to the logic behind the build, you'll understand why this build actually might be OP. All right, so let's keep one thing in mind as I'm about to go through making this build. Keep these few things in mind. Last year when 2K20 came out, the most overpowered build in a game was the two-way slashing playmaker. All right, now mind you, that's a build with a pie chart of yellow and red. It didn't have Hall of Fame finishing, it didn't have Hall of Fame shooting, but for some reason that build was very excellent at finishing at the rim, and that build was very good at shooting as long as you found a jump shot that could work for you. And plus, keep in mind, 2K always favors the casual players. So even if a build may not be OP shooting in the beginning of 2K, by the time they release X amount of patches, builds that weren't generally initially supposed to be able to shoot will be able to shoot later in the year. Because if we would have made the two-way slashing playmaker in the beginning of the year, that build would not have been as good as it was towards the later parts of the year. All right, keep in mind that build had like a 60-something trade ball, or sometimes if you were able to make it to get to a 70 trade ball, then the build, you know, you'll be having a high 60s or a low 70 trade ball. All right, mind you, that was without Hall of Fame shooting, and that build was very goated. All right, so as far as this pie chart, we're gonna go with the shooting and finishing pie chart. Mind you, this is the new pie chart, so slightly more shooting, less the finishing. So when you choose one of the newer pie charts, you're pretty much not gonna get Hall of Fame as if you were to choose the normal green and blue pie chart. All right, so this is not like the BP build, but it's a slight variation of a defensive build that could shoot and finish, but you're not gonna be like labeled a defender. So you want to go with the very first pie chart that is with the highest speed, the highest acceleration, and it doesn't it's not gonna give you the highest vertical, but you will have more vertical than you have strength. If it's anything like 2K, well, scratch that. You're a point guard. You don't need a lot of strength. You need speed, so that way you can keep up with the people that you're gonna be defending, and you want to be able to ISO and blow past the people that is gonna be guarding you. All right, so you're gonna go with that first physical pie chart. Right now, as far as the badge setup goes, it's two ways you can go with this badge setup. For this badge setup, I'm gonna give y'all the slightly more defensive variation, And then you can go with the less defensive variation if you want more finishing. All right. So the build with slightly more defensive variation, you're gonna end up with 5 defensive badges. Okay. So you're gonna max out perimeter defense, max out your lateral quickness, max out your steal, and then you're gonna max out your defensive rebound. Now, because this build is going to have 5 defensive badges, and you're gonna see the benefits of this build. All right, you could either make this build where you get 5 points up for the interior defense, or you can do it for block. All right, so either or works for you. I'm gonna do interior defense because you're gonna see how I make the build and the reason why I'm putting interior defense up opposed to block. All right, so look, you're gonna max out the ball handling, and then for your pass accuracy, you want your playmaking badges to only have 9. So you're gonna scale this all the way back to right when the threshold hit 9 playmaking badges, because that's gonna give you gold quick first step, gold handle for days, and gold unpluckable. And hopefully unpluckable works the way it's supposed to work. And say for instance, if this like 2K of last year where unpluckable worked better on bronze than it did Hall of Fame and gold, then now you'll just have 2 extra badges that you could just put on diamond, because mind you, you're a point guard. So if it is like last year and there's no reason to have a higher unpluckable than bronze, then you'll be able to put them 2 extra badge points on diamond, which would definitely help your teammates opposed to you just looking out for yourself. All right, now for the shooting, you're gonna go for 22 shooting badges. All right, so as soon as that threshold hit 22, boom, you Gucci. All right, so look, you're gonna go for, this should give you about 12 finishing badges. Again, I'm sorry, you're not gonna go for 22 shooting badges. You actually could shoot this up higher for your shooting if you want to. Okay, if you want more shooting badges and have a higher badge setup to be a little bit more versatile, you can do that. All right, so you can either go with the more finishing, but like I originally am making a build, I'm going with the more shooting just because I want them extra extra shooting badges. All right, so you can either go extra shooting, or if you feel like you're gonna need more playmaking, you could do that as well. All right, so the reason why you're gonna make the build like this, because with 12 finishing, you'll be able to get gold slithery finisher, you'll be able to get the gold contact finisher, you'll be able to get you could choose between relentless finisher, and you'll be able to get at least 4 gold badges when it comes to finishing on your build. All right, but again, if you want to divvy this up just a little bit different, where again you have more defensive or more playmaking, you don't really need that many shooting badges in this game, being that we don't need quick draw anymore. All right, so I'm gonna go with the compact. Now this is where the build gets real fun and real interesting. All right, you're gonna make him 6'6". It's gonna take your threshold of speed back down to 80. Right, so remember, we gonna aim for that close to 90 speed, because if they still give us gym rat, that's gonna give us an extra boost, 3+ to our physicals, and then I think it was 3 or 4, but you're gonna get that extra boost to our physicals. And then if the progression system is like last year as far as your overall, which it seems like it is, when you upgrade your player and he get closer to 97 and 98 overall, that speed threshold is going to be either right at 89 or above 90, depending on what overall your build is. So you're going to go with the minimum weight, so that way you could get that. All right, and then as far as your wingspan, this is where it gets beautiful. Right, you're going to actually do max arm length, but then 1 tick under. So you could either go with max if you want that 1 extra in steal and a little bit more in your block. You'll get less on a 3-point and you'll get less on a drive and dunk, but it's either or, is up to you. Just keep this in mind. If you go max arm length, once you hit 97 overall, you'll have an 80 drive and dunk. All right, you'll have an 80 drive and dunk and an 83 ball. All right, and then you'll have a 70. You'll have a 76 ball handle. Now the only reason why I'm gonna go 1 tick down is because I actually want to have a 77 ball handle once I hit 97 overall. And you should definitely be able to speed boost once you get that threshold up there, and you'll be able to speed boost just a little bit before, once you get a little bit of takeover. Now, as far as your takeovers, it's completely up to you. You could choose whatever takeover you want, because I want this build. When people see this build, I actually want them to not think that I'm always going to be shooting, that I can't ISO, and then that I'm just a lockdown. I'm going to actually go with the lock take, all right? So, like I said, you done made your mid-range finisher. Like I said, you'll be able to speed boost with this build. Now, as far as some variations, if you want your build faster, you'll go with the 6'5" version. And if you want your build a little bit more defensive oriented, instead of 6'6", you'll go with 6'7", all right? I know this video is a little bit lengthy, but I just wanted y'all to show this. I wanted to show y'all this speed boost and mid-range finisher. Mind you, when we usually see mid-range finishers, that's usually like a smaller power forward that's like shooting and defending pie chart. But this is actually the shooting and finishing new pie chart that you'll be able to speed boost as a 6'6" guard, and even faster as a 6'5" guard, but be able to play more defense at a 6'7" guard. So that 6'6" is that very good balance of a build that you'll be able to speed boost. You'll be able to finish. Remember, like I said, the two-way slashing playmaker didn't have Hall of Fame finishing badges, and it was finishing fire. It wasn't even a finishing build. It was playmaking and defending, okay? And you could get contact dunks on people and everything. Alright, so if with finishing in your build, you definitely gonna be going crazy. Alright, so look, like I said, you could play around with the variations of how you like it, but either way, you're gonna get you a speed boost and mid-range finisher, and the build is fire. Now, this may be a fun build. If you like this build, there's gonna be better builds out there depending on whatever setup you want to go. Alright, so if you're new to the channel, make sure y'all smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, so that way you could join the family. And if you're not a subscriber, then you are up. And I'm out, bruh.